plant nurseries want you to come back to their shop time and time again to buy their plants so that they can make more and more money. But the problem for us is that buying lots of plants can be seriously expensive. Well, the open secret that nurseries don't want too many people like you and me to latch onto is that plants can be easily multiplied from stem cuttings so that we can multiply the amount of plants we have for free. Pretty much all plants can be propagated in this way, so let's have a look at some of the plants we can easily take cuttings from in our garden and turn into lots of additional plants. Hydrangeas are one of the most popular plants for our gardens, and luckily they're also probably the easiest to propagate. This whole table here of hydrangea plants are cuttings that I took last year. So all we need to do is go to the hydrangea we already have in our garden. So I have this very large hydrangea plant in the corner of my garden. This is a plant that's just coming into flower. It's June at the moment, mid-June, and these will produce white flowers eventually, probably in a couple of weeks. These will mature. So all we need to do is take a stem or two from the plant, cut it at the base of the plant, and then we'll take some cuttings from there. So there I have my two cuttings I'm going to show you what to do with now. So I've got my two stem pieces, large stem pieces that I took from the plant, so we can turn each of these into lots of cuttings that will develop into lots of hydrangea plants. So a really good way of doing it. So all you want to do is take your large stem piece, locate the bottom set of leaves and just cut just above, like so. We can discard that. And then you want to go up to the next set of leaves, and you want to cut just above there again, like so, and then that is one cutting. So I'll show you what we do with that in a second, but we can keep going with this. All you want to do is just keep going up to the next set of leaves and cutting just above, like so. So that's another one there. So that's two, same with that one, three, and then with the flower, if there's no stem piece straight after the two leaves, you can probably discard that. Probably not going to turn into much. So we can get rid of that, put that onto that pile, and I'll just do this while I'm at it actually. So again, locate the bottom two leaves, cut that off, go up and cut just above, and then again, and then we can take that off. So out of those two large stems, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 potential plants that are going to be free to us. So all we need to do, we've got our cuttings with two leaves. So the plant needs the two leaves to photosynthesize, but doesn't want too much of a leaf area surface, so it tends to lose too much moisture. So all you want to do is just cut the leaf area in half, like I'm doing, like so. So that's one there, and then the same on the other side. And that is your cutting. So roots will develop from at the bottom where you made the cut, and then new stems will appear from the top eventually. It will only take about 3 or 4 weeks probably for the roots to develop, and then another few weeks for the plant to send out new shoots. Grab a pot with some potting soil. I've just got compost on hand, so that's what I'm using. And all we do is just stick it into the soil, press around. We'll do that for all of them, and then we'll give it a water. So we'll do a couple more. I've got 4 pots here at the moment, so we'll do 4 more. So again, got our cutting here. We need to cut the leaves in half. Like so. So that's another cutting. We'll stick that into the soil. Hydrangeas really are easy to propagate. They really do develop roots very easily. So one of the easier plants to multiply in your garden for free, which is not what the nurseries want everyone to know. They would rather us buy their plants every year. So there you have it. There are 5 cuttings. All we need to do now is just put these leaves to one side. Grab some water and just moisten the soil. like so, so that the plant can develop roots. And that is the hydrangea cutting all complete. So all you need to do is just put it in a shaded spot in your garden. Keep it out of direct sun because it will cook the cuttings, but keep it in a shaded spot and they'll develop roots in no time. Another plant that you can easily propagate and multiply the amount you have in your garden is the clematis. So I got this clematis here that is climbing all over my fence, all along this line here. So all you can do, like with the hydrangea, is just take a couple of stem pieces and then I'll show you what to do after. That's my stem pieces, so let's turn this into a plant. So I've got my 2 clematis stems here, and we can process it in much the same way as we have done with our hydrangeas. You can pretty much do that with all our plants, but there is a slight twist with this that I'm going to show you. So what you want to do, again, you want to find the bottom set of leaves, and you want to cut underneath, like so. And then you want to go up to the next, so you want to leave these on for the time being, and then you want to go up to the next set of leaves and you want to cut above the leaf node. So you should have a piece like that with 2 sets of leaves on, and then we want to take these bottom leaves off the stem like so, and then that is where the roots are going to develop. So with most of our plants in our garden and indoors, you do need to have the leaf node still intact for it to develop roots. If you were to cut above, on most plants, it wouldn't develop roots, but with a hydrangea, because it's so easy, you can just cut away at the bottom and it will still develop roots. So we've got our stem piece here, leaf node still intact at the bottom, and then we've got our 2 leaves at the top. These are small leaves, so I'm just going to leave them as they are. No need to cut them in half or anything, and they should do fine. So all we do, again, like with the hydrangea, just stick the leaf node into the soil. So you want to remove the bottom leaves, because if you were to put the leaves in there, they would just rot, and then eventually your stem would rot and you'd have a failed propagation on your hands. So you can get a few stem cuttings out of one. So again, you want to find the next leaf node there and cut just underneath again. Go up to the next set and then just cut just above. And then we're going to remove these bottom leaves. And then that is another cutting. So again, we can just pop that into our soil. And we'll give it a water when I've done them all. That's one. So that was that stem. Take my other stem now. So again, just find the bottom set of leaves, cut just underneath. Go up to the next batch, cut above. Remove these bottom leaves so they don't rot when you put them in the soil. Leave those 2 as they are, and then pop them into the soil. So I've got my 4 clematis cuttings. What we need to do now is just give them a light watering. And it's as simple as that. So again, keep them in the shade in your garden. Don't let direct sunlight touch them because that will cook them. You want to keep the soil moist at all times really while they're developing roots. Once they've developed roots, they'll start to push out new stems and new leaves. Within a few months, you'll probably have to change the pot because there'll be so many roots in here. Put it into a larger pot and it will flourish into a large plant. So these are my 8 cuttings that I've just taken. I've got 4 hydrangeas and 4 clematis. I'm going to keep them here. This spot never gets direct sun, so they're in the shade and they'll develop roots in no time. It's just as easy to propagate indoor plants as it is outdoor plants. So click on the link here and I'll show you how you can easily propagate a pothos plant so you can have more plants for free. Thanks for watching. I'll see you there.